Well, I guess we're live, and we're going to begin our discussion of PTZs. Now, what we have here is a shootout, as it were, a PTZ shootout to compare an AIDA x18 NDIHX PTZ to a Panasonic 4K UE-100. So let me swap to that now. This is kind of an impromptu demonstration, so we're going to be using a bit of a rigged up scenario where we plug in the Panasonic and it's going to take over the feed here in a moment. But the basic idea that we want to examine is, do you have to spend multiple thousands of dollars to get a good quality camera feed, video feed for your production? Now, we're not talking about audio here, and we've not set up any spectacular audio arrangement. We're doing this simply from a MacBook Pro as far as speakers are concerned. We are also going to talk about the differences in the setup between the two, because we are, and I'll freely admit, we are limiting the Panasonic to HD only. It is a 4K camera. It does have UHD capability, but to make it at least a somewhat comparable scenario, and given that most people in their production environments simply cannot do 4K production on a regular basis, and most streaming environments, if they're streaming that production, cannot handle a 4K signal, we are going to focus instead on HD quality. Now, we are doing this in 1080p 60 frames per second HD, so we're as high in HD as we can get. What we have is we have one side of the room, Panasonic UE-100. That's the video you're seeing right now. The other side of the room, which we're going to switch to in a moment, is the AIDA x18. Now, there is a 10x difference, not in the zoom between these two cameras, but in the price tag between these two cameras. The camera you're looking at right now is an $8,000 camera. The camera we're going to switch to here in a moment is an $800 camera. Now, I'm Aaron Kozor. I'm a representative of and the owner of Wisdom Integrators. We help people with technology problems. We help them solve those technology problems. And one of the areas that we specifically work in is audio and video and live streaming. Whether that be for a podcast or a live production television broadcast or conference, we have worked in all of these spaces for a number of years, and we are just simply trying to provide solutions that both meet people's needs, meet their quality expectations, but also meet their budget. And sometimes that's an $8,000 camera, and sometimes it's not. We're going to switch back to the AIDA camera for a moment. Now, one thing that I'll mention is that neither one of these cameras have been professionally white balanced. We did a generic white balance the way some people might. We took a white object and put it in the screen and hit auto white balance or one push white balance. So we have a number of things going on here. Now, you'll notice there's some things that the AIDA is doing that the Panasonic didn't do. It's kind of struggling with the light arrangement. We do not have enough light in this room, and we don't have any backlight in this room. We don't have a hair light to kind of pull me out of the background. So there's some areas where it does seem to be struggling a little bit with the focus. It has very good controls for being able to switch over to manual focus. It does come with a remote, so you can use that in your environment, or you can control it entirely through a web dashboard. One of the things I'm going to talk about is usability. While we're not going to give a demonstration of the user interface for both of these cameras here on this live stream, perhaps we'll do that at another time. One of the things that is true is that the AIDA camera is much, and I cannot overstress this, much simpler to set up, and in my opinion, it's even much simpler to get to a point where it looks good. When we initially pulled these out of the box, now the Panasonic was used, and the AIDA was a demo unit. So both of them had been other places before. Both of them needed configuration and white balance and color settings and all of those type of settings to be put in place. But the reality was, between the two, for most average users, most people who want to simply record a podcast with video, or record a YouTube live stream, or heaven forbid, record a multiple camera pan, tilt, zoom controlled live stream, the AIDA is incredibly easy to set up. The Panasonic, not so much. I'm going to do something here real quick just to give you kind of a frame of reference, because either of these solutions, whether you're talking about an $800 NDI PTZ from AIDA, by the way, both of these are running either SDI or HDMI into an AV Matrix SDI HDMI converter, and out of that into a Magewell HDMI 4K plus to USB converter capture card. All of these products you can order from Wisdom Integrators. You can visit us at wisdomintegrators.com. You can also give us a call, and our information is there. But the reality is, you can get all of these things. The question is, why would you? I'm going to switch over for just a moment to my webcam. On this MacBook Pro, this is a 2020 MacBook Pro, top of the line, and we're going to switch over here to the webcam of this particular machine, just to give you a frame of reference on the differences between even an $800 camera and what you would get if you just decided to use the built-in FaceTime camera that comes on the Mac. Well, there you have it, guys. If you said, well, I'm just going to use the Mac, I'm just going to use the webcam that comes with the Mac, this is what you're going to be getting. Your option is this, or you can actually buy a camera. Some may say, well, I'm just going to use my phone. Well, certainly you can use your phone, but can you remotely pan and tilt your phone? Can you get a dynamic shot mounted a few feet away from you and then control it and even see what it looks like from your phone? No. Here's what you should know. If your budget is $1,000 or less, this looks pretty good. This is doable. And this isn't even great lighting. You, with a little lighting control and with some good lighting, you could get a great image out of this AIDA x18. And you're doing so under $1,000. You will want to build your lighting around the capabilities of the camera because it is a specific kind of sensor. It does handle light in a different way than something like the UE-100. This device, switch back over to the Panasonic. This device has a significantly more expensive sensor with a significantly more expensive lens, not to mention 12G SDI output and 4K. But the question is, what are you producing? And the question will always be, what are you producing and who is it for and what is the return on your investment? The return on your investment between using a webcam on your computer and spending money for a real camera can be very significant. You can produce something that looks professional with a good camera, in contrast to a webcam that will never look professional. But you don't have to spend $8,000 to do it. If your budget and your purpose and your return on investment calls for an $8,000 camera, spectacular. You've got a lot of options available to you, from Panasonic to many other camera creators. Bird Dog, for which we're also a dealer, makes a spectacular $8,000 camera. The question is, what is right for your scenario? And are you just spending money to spend money? Or are you producing something that has measurable, quantifiable value and a return on your investment? If you've got more questions about cameras like these and your specific situation, why not give us a call, 901-484-8753. That's 901-484-8753. And let us help you decide on the right technology and the right workflow for your production. This is Aaron Cosworth with Wisdom Integrators. Thank you for your time.